The main thing going forward isn't just to complain.
Right.
And we have to make our voices loud as we can.
What do we want? When do we want it?
As a Floridian, to be concerned with the state of the coastline is sort of critical to your citizenship.
The one thing you have to do is show up. The people who make the decisions about what happens to your coastlines and your beaches and the mangroves and all of that, there are meetings held, there are public hearings held. The special interests, lobbyists will be there, the lawyers will be there, the people that want to change what you're looking at and want to build it and exploit it, and in some cases ruin it, they'll all be there. And you've got to raise your hand and you've got to make some noise and say, this is wrong, we care about this. And when you do that, they hear it, but you got to show up to have any chance of winning.
Now we'll go ahead and open a public hearing.
Even the most optimistic of projections that we have, sort of the guarantee, is that we'll lose a significant chunk of the Everglades. My children will never know it for what I know it as. Probably the Keys will become uninhabitable. My children will never know it the way I have. It threatens Turkey Point. It threatens the sewage treatment plant on Virginia Key. These are optimistic projections. These are 1 to 4 feet. These are possibly in my lifetime.
As the state is failing in sort of overseeing this issue, we have to step up and make sure that people continue to invest in Miami-Dade County, and that they're sure that insurance and 30-year mortgages are going to have a base in the future.
I'd like to comment on the budget and sea level rise. First, there was little to nothing. Then $75,000. And I think I heard today about $300,000 were allocated. I'd like to suggest that that's not enough, that our community and environment deserve more.
And I echo the comment that $300,000 is not enough. We're in Miami. You can't buy much for $300,000. We respectfully ask, and if we're not listened to, we'll continue demanding that our taxpayer dollars are allocated to these issues that are pressing and relevant right now.
The eyes of the world are upon Miami. We are ground zero for the economic impacts of sea level rise, with the greatest value of assets at risk in the world.
You know, this is about public health. This is about public safety. You added 100 officers to the budget. How many officers do you think Miami's going to need when we're flooding?
And when we think about our real estate, our tourism industry, our quality of life, all of these things are at stake. Even our life-sustaining water supply.
You know, it used to be the perception of a scientist was that we would go into the lab or make our measurements and we would publish our scientific papers, and we would hope that the policymakers would read those papers and act upon them. Well, that's not happening. And so there's a lot of us that are actually getting out of our scientific closets.
I applaud the partnerships with academia. We've already met with FIU. They have a very extensive team working on this. UM2, of course, is eager. FAU, so that's a great development to work with the universities. Our residents are looking to us for solutions. The nation and even the world is looking to us for solutions. We have a great opportunity to lead on this issue, and we must lead on it. Our community deserves a responsive, accountable, bold leadership.
If we're really going to protect our beach, the people of Florida need to make sure that our coastal development and our coastal planning laws are forward-looking.
It's not just showing up at the meeting, it's showing up with your voting card and voting. Because if you don't, you got no shot at changing anything.
To have climate change handled, it's going to take the electorate to force it on the elected officials. We have to elect the right people.